Welcome to the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout here at the Minot, North Dakota at Minot's North Hill Bowl. And it's January 2005, guys, and it's been really cold out lately, but boy, I tell you what, it's going to be hot here this afternoon here at the Fisher Shootout. With me, Larry Craig, Jeff Craig. Jeff, first annual last year, second annual this year. You moved it up a little bit this year. Why the change in dates?
Well, we ended up getting awarded the men's state tournament at North Hill Bowl this year, so we had to move the tournament up to be able to hold the state. And so we have the big state tournament coming to Minot for those of you that are interested in bowling in it.
Jeff, the second year around, I know the first year it was a lot of growing pains and a lot of things that you knew that could be different for second year. Has it been a little bit more easier this year?
It was yesterday. Today was pretty trying for me.
All right, Larry Craig also with me. Larry, you've bowled in this tournament both years now. Talk a little bit about what differences you saw this year as far as the competition.
Well, this year the competition was, it's always good. It's top-notch competition. But this year they put a little tougher oiling pattern in, and the scores on Saturday, with the qualifying scores, were a little lower. And I still see 5 top bowlers. We have 3 right-handers and 2 left-handers and 1 young pup that's going to be coming up. And I think it'll be a good show.
Larry, how did you do in this tournament?
17 pins short.
17 pin shorts. Okay, well, that's why he's here and not out there waiting to bowl. Let's introduce you to our 5 finalists for today's competition. Tom, come on out of here. Tom from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He finished with a 3,097. Number 2 is Ron Zutz from Warren, Minnesota. His finishing total was 3,025. Number 3 bowler was Greg McCullough of Fargo. The only North Dakotan in the final 5. He finished with a 2,989. Number 4, Richard Vitko from Ramsey, Minnesota. Finishing with a 2,963. And our final bowler, Jonathan Matter of Moorhead, Minnesota. 2,923. These are your 5 bowlers that will be competing for $5,000 in cash in the Fisher Motors Shootout. Time now for our national anthem, and we call on Bryn Roos for our national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The preliminaries are over. Without further ado, it's time for bowling action. The bowlers are ready. Is the crowd ready? We'll come back for the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout right after this.
Experience Fisher Motors, where they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one.
The thing I enjoyed most about buying a vehicle from Fisher Motors is not being pressured. The overall experience with Fisher Motors, with Teresa and the service department, I would recommend it to anyone.
The reason I bought from Fisher Motor is because I've been dealing with them for many years. Teresa was my salesperson. I told her just what I wanted, and she was very efficient. She led me right to the car that I am driving today.
Nothing sounds better than pizza and Pepsi. It's the Cola.
There are many things that make International Inn Minot's first choice in lodging. That feeling of quality you notice the moment you walk in. The efforts made to offer entertainment for your whole family, from activities in the large indoor pool area to meals prepared by a 4-star chef in Primo Restaurant and first-class comedy in the Reflections Lounge. Large meeting and banquet rooms are available, and to end your busy day, relax in a comfortable, spacious room. All great reasons to make International Inn your choice for lodging.
This portion of today's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light, IRET, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and these great sponsors.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout. 5 players playing for $5,000 in cash, and we're getting ready here. We'll go to the first match of the night. We'll feature Jonathan Matter of Moorhead, Minnesota, against Richard Vitko of Ramsey, Minnesota.
Scott, he threw that ball good. He was probably a little nervous and came in a little high, and probably got a little slow and left a 4-9 split.
You know, Larry, a lot of these guys probably have played in some television competition, but it's still, you still have butterflies at the start.
Oh, you're still going to the first couple of frames.
All right, he opens in his first frame.
My name is Richard Vitko. I'm 27. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, originally from Florida. I've been in Minnesota for 4 years, and this was my first trip up here to North Dakota. I was 4th yesterday, and I ended 4th today, so got a lot early today. Just battled all for the rest of the day. Just hung in there. I'm pretty comfortable. Like my chances going in, even though I had a bad 190 last game, but I really like my chances going in.
All right, up now is Jonathan Matter of Moorhead, Minnesota.
Good young left-handed bowler out of Minnesota. And he starts off with a bang.
That takes a little bit of the nerves away if you can get that first strike.
Start off with a strike. Scott Jonathan, he won last year's Eastern half of the tournament. He won the 2004 WDA, so he's the defending champion from Fargo.
All right, now he in tournament competition, what you do is you bowl on one lane and go to the next. So this is Matter on lane 19. Ooh, he just couldn't get it to go.
Look at it wobble. Jonathan did win one of our earlier scratch tournaments here at North Hill Bowl this year. He won the Christmas Scratch Classic that was held in December.
As we go along here, I'll get comments both from Larry and Jeff on tournament format and how it sets up, that sort of thing. What we'll have here is bowler number 5, who is Jonathan Matter, will go against Richard Vitko. The winner of this will take on Greg McCullough. The winner of that match will take on Ron Zutz. And then the final match will have the winner of that 4th match against Tom Clark for $5,000.
I'm Jonathan Matter. I'm from Moorhead, Minnesota. The defending champion of the 2004 WDAY DAZ Classic. Just bowl. You know, I've done this before. It's no big deal. You know, I'm already a lot farther along than I would have been before. So you just got to go out and bowl your game and just hope for the best.
Now it's Richard Vitko of Ramsey, Minnesota, which is a suburb of the Twin Cities. Remember, he opened in the first frame with a split. See if he can get on track here. Nice ball there, wasn't it, Larry?
Beautiful ball, Scott.
All right, so he comes back, gets his first strike as these two bowlers settle in. Again, the winner of this will move on to the next round and take on Greg McCullough of Fargo, North Dakota. And Greg is the only North Dakotan in the Final 5 this year. Will he get looking for a double? And that's no, he did. He left the solid 10 pin. Yeah, Jeff, I know what the 10 pin is now after you coerced me into bowling again.
You know all the lingo, you're ready to go?
Oh, I know all the lingo.
I did just want to add that, remember, the winner will advance to the next match. Whoever finishes 5th will get $1,000 for their weekend tonight.
All right, Richard picks up the single 10 pin. Spares in the 3rd, so now Jonathan Matter on lane 20, working on a spare. Oh. Boy, he couldn't get that one to carry either, Larry, could he?
almost the exact same ball as he threw on lane 19, and about the same type results.
All right, so he'll look to pick up the spare. It's the single 7-pin.
He throws a harder ball, and he'll just throw hard and throw straight at it.
For a left-hander, Larry, for us right-handers, the 10-pin is the toughest pin to pick up. For the left-hander, it's the opposite. It's the 7-pin.
It's just the opposite. It's the 7-pin. Jonathan's a tall, lanky bowler, and he keeps real low to the line, and he puts a lot of lift and turn on the ball.
Looking for a strike here. Boy,
Beautiful.
That was solid.
Beautiful shot.
Jonathan has thrown all of his balls right in the pocket.
All right, so now Richard Vitko back up on number 20, and he is working on a spare in the third. This is his fourth frame. And he couldn't carry it.
Left a 10-pin on that shot.
Tournament format here, Jeff, when you get to the step ladder, it's kind of a step ladder tournament. 5 will play 4. The winner there plays 3, and then the winner 2, and then 1 till you get down to the final 2.
Where's the spare?
Now, if you're sitting Tom Clark, who is the leader going in, or number 1 going in, he sits a long time before he plays his championship match. Yes, he is assured of second place, but is it tough for them to sit back and wait?
Oh, it's a little tougher, but like you said, you're guaranteed that second place spot. So he's just kind of just watching what's going on, and he's going to watch, and I'm sure the lanes will go through a little transition period. So he'll just be kind of keeping an eye and watching.
Oh, the 6-pin just fell right into the gutter and didn't knock the 10 over again. That's
So
the
both bowlers, Jeff, kind of struggling here with getting the strikes.
They're both hitting the pocket really well. They're just not getting the corner pins to fall. That noise you do hear in the background, that is the other 3 bowlers back on the other side of the bowling center warming up so they stay loose.
All right, he picks up the spare, and we're back to Jonathan Matter out of Moorhead, Minnesota. We have 3 Minnesotans, a North Dakotan, and a South Dakotan in the final 5. All right, he leaves... he gets 8 on that, working on a spare. Or no, excuse me, working on a strike there. So, by the way, we had a couple of local bowlers do quite well this weekend. Just out of the top 5, Ryan Selk and Steve Nush here of Minot. He picks up the spare, and Larry, speaking of Ryan Selk, he had the high game of the weekend.
Ryan, he had a 298 on lanes right where we're sitting here, 23 and 24.
And Ryan, I think, missed the top 5 by about 20 pins or so.
He ended up 17th, and he missed being 5th place by 51 pins.
I think you're looking at the wrong, you got through 11 games. Ryan finished 7th at 29-11. That's all right, Jeff.
Yeah, I got the wrong sheet. Told you it's been a trying day, Scott.
He finished 12 pins out of 5th place. So it's those opens during the course of the day. They've bowled already 12 games today, Larry. So that's got to take a toll on your body.
Definitely. I bowled. I pretty much crossed lanes all day with Richard, and he's a good, tough competitor. He always hits the pocket.
All right, he got that one right there. So.
Got some crowd reaction there.
Yeah, and now Richard will go over to lane number 19. And working on a strike here. Richard's got 87 through 5 with a strike in the 6th. Looking for a double right here on lane number 19. Richard Vitko. And does he carry it? Yes, he does. So Richard Vitko will be working on a double. Now back to Jonathan Matter, who has 99 through 5 with... He is also working on a strike in the 6th, looking for a double right here. As Larry mentioned, a very good left-hander out of Moorhead, Minnesota. And... Ooh, he hit... left a solid
6-pin.
6-pin right there.
I would like to comment on yesterday's matches. We started with 139 bowlers. That's how many we had in the tournament this year. And we cut to the top 36 to bowl head-to-head match play today. It took a 206 average to make that field. And I would kind of like to comment on the fact that Larry said when we were out there talking that we put a tougher shot out there this year, and I kind of think the weather conditions really have a lot to do with that. With the 40, 50 below weather we have, it sure dries out the wood and everything in the house, and really makes the scores and the conditions tougher to score on.
All right, Jonathan did pick up his spare in the 7th. He's at 119 through 6 frames with a spare in the 7th. Looking for a strike there. Ooh, left the 7 pin. So Jonathan will be working on a 7 pin. He's now 138 through 7 frames with 9 count in the 8th, looking for a spare.
He had the same reaction there, Scott. The 4-pin just went right in the gutter and did not touch the 7-pin.
Oh, and that's the thing that you really want to stay away from, Larry, when you're in tournament competition here, when you're one-on-one. He just couldn't get it over to that 7-pin.
Now, if the odds are right, Richard will come right up and strike.
So 147 for Jonathan Matter through 8 frames. And now Richard Vitko working on 2 strikes. Ooh, he splits there. That's a tough break right there, Jeff.
Ooh,
and that opens the door now for Jonathan Matter.
His opponent opened the door for him, and he just gave pretty much even the match right back up with that shot.
All right, he will take a 9 there, and both the bowlers now through 8 frames with opens in the 8th. The score right now, 143 for Richard Vitko and 147 for Jonathan Matters. So that split really hurt Richard Vitko right there, Larry, in really kind of taking command of this match.
He's got to come back with a good pocket strike here, Scott.
All right. Big shot in the 9th frame here.
He got that out. I can see that's going to be close.
Beautiful
Boy,
shot.
that was
Beautiful.
solid. You know, and that's just like any other sport that you participate in, guys. You know, you fail to get done what you need to get done on one frame, but you have to forget about it and just concentrate on your next ball.
Yep, just a simple mental mistake, and you just need to move on.
Here's Jonathan Matter. Well, he responds with a strike of his own in the 9th, and now Jonathan will finish up his game in the 10th. Again, a 143 for Richard Vitko through 8 frames with a strike in the 9th. Jonathan Matter with a 147 through 8 frames with a strike in the 9th.
Scott, Jonathan, if he gets 2 strikes in the 10th frame and 7 pins, he can win the game.
All right, here is his first ball. Yeah, he does
beautiful.
It. He's got a double, looking now for a turkey.
If he gets 1 more and 7, he'll win. He'll lock out Richard. So this is a big shot. Jonathan works at Sunset Lanes in Fargo.
Jonathan, yeah, works in Fargo and lives in Moorhead, Minnesota. Good-looking young bowler. Oh, he left. Didn't get that one to the pocket.
He left the door open. Richard can strike out and win.
All right, so the first match of this second annual Fisher Motors Shootout is going to go right down to the wire. Now Jonathan's got to concentrate on picking up these 3 pins. And he gets it done. He will finish with a 194. 194 for Jonathan Matter. Now Richard Vitko.
Richard just needs 2 strikes, Scott, and any count.
2 strikes in any count, and he wins it.
That's right. Taking a little extra time, Scott.
The first strike is always the toughest.
Oh, he got it out there. It looks good. He
carried
got it.
Boy, he carried it.
A lot of animation on that shot. Okay, this is the big shot here.
Right here is the big shot. If he makes this one, Richard Vitko will be our winner of the first game and move on and play Greg McCullough of Fargo, North Dakota in our second match. All right, so this is for the win right here. If he strikes, he wins it. He's on lane number 20, working on 2 strikes. This one will give him the win if he can strike. And he got it. Richard Vitko. Boy, he showed some emotion right there, Jeff, and he's going to move on.
Great shot. He's going to be the winner of this match. And
Good pressure shot, Scott.
All right. So
I would like to add that Sunset Lanes is in Moorhead.
All right. All right, so he'll just finish out. It doesn't make any difference what count he gets here, but he finishes it in style. Finishes the game with 4 straight strikes and a 203. So Richard Vitko, the winner of our first match, 203 to Jonathan Matters, 194. And for taking 5th place in the Fisher Shootout, Jonathan Matter will take home a check, a pretty good check, Larry Craig, of $1,000. The first match is in the books. We'll come back. And for our second match, you're watching the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout.
This portion of today's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light, IRET, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and these great sponsors.
My Fisher Motors experience was great. Rick Teagle, my salesman, wonderful, honest, friendly. You can't beat them. Things haven't changed. They're just all great people here. And this is exactly why I came to Fisher Motors. I knew Rick was here and I wanted to buy a car from him. What more could I want? Rick's the man. Did you get that?
Welcome to First Western Bank and Trust, and its only locally owned bank.
And because we're right here, your banking decision is made here.
Faster and better. And your money goes to work right here in our community.
And because we know you, we know your dreams. We know your needs.
And you know us.
We're First Western Bank and Trust, and together we're banking on Minot.
Nothing sounds better than pizza and Pepsi. It's the cola.
Dining at Primo is a journey into fabulous food. Every journey begins with a single step. At Primo, that step is in the kitchen, where creative chefs craft exceptional American and Italian cuisine. The journey enhanced with excellent service, elegant atmosphere, and cityscape views, topped with North Dakota's largest selection of single malt scotches and cognacs. Best of all, you can dress casual and take this dining journey at affordable prices. Primo at the International Inn. Your table is waiting.
Adding new siding and windows is an investment, and North Country Home Improvement is the smart choice to help you make it. North Country is your authorized distributor for high-quality Simonton vinyl windows, Colby & Colby windows, and quality siding from Gentex and Norandex. Combine these fine products with 18 years of construction experience, and you'll transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Call Troy Westmeyer for a free estimate. Remember, at North Country Home Improvement, if it's not good enough for them, it's not good enough for you.
This portion of today's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light, IRET, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and these great sponsors.
Well, welcome back to the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout here on West Dakota Fox and ABC. I'm Scott Cattell along with Larry Craig and Jeff Craig. Larry, interesting first match.
Oh, it was a close match, Scott. Richard came through at the end. I think Jonathan threw a couple balls a little hard, and he got tapped, and he didn't get the break. And Richard come through when he needed it and got the strike for the win, Scott.
All right, and the winner, Richard Vitko, of our first bowling match is with Jeff Craig. Jeff?
Hi, Richard. That was quite a nerve-wracking in the 10th frame. What did you think?
I was pretty nervous. I just knew how to make great shots. He's a tough player. He's been bowling good all day and all day yesterday. Just take one shot at a time and see what happens.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jeff. And now Richard will move on, and he will take on our number 3 bowler coming into today's competition.
41 years old. I'm from Fargo, North Dakota, obviously, and I'm actually a golf pro is my occupation. It seemed like about every five games I would bowl a good one, and then I'd just kind of hang in there. And then towards the end, they got a little bit better. And you know, I didn't have a lot of close matches. I didn't have a lot of big games shot at me, so I was pretty fortunate in that way. I'm a jack of all trades and probably not excellent at any one type of thing, but I think I have a pretty good feel of possibly what's going on out there.
All right, Greg from Fargo, North Dakota. Let's get to the action. First up will be Greg McCullough here on lane number 19 as he and Richard Vitko will battle here to move on to play the number 2 seeded bowler, Ron Zutz of Warren, Minnesota. And the winner will move on. The loser of this one now, Jeff, picks up a pretty healthy check also for finishing 4th place.
$1,400 they receive for the person that takes 4th place, Scott.
Oh, he left a solid 7-pin there.
Same thing once again. You notice that Scott Hall 4-pin has a tendency to just fall into the gutter and it doesn't knock over the 7-pin like it's supposed to.
Larry, another left-hander here, left-handed bowler, and for us that throw from the right side, it's a little different game for them.
Oh, it's a little different. You've always got your righty-lefty controversy, and a lot of people take it a little more serious than others, but right now it's been a pretty even, the whole tournament has been pretty even for the right-handers and the left-handers. I think there's a pretty honest shot on both sides.
All right, Greg picks up the spare, and now Richard Vitko on lane 20. You know, a lot of people who probably don't do a lot of bowling and maybe just do leisure bowling don't understand, you know, conditions of lanes and the oil and that sort of thing. Jeff, explain a little bit about that.
Well, Scott, with the new bowling balls today, bowling balls used to do what they would soak up the oil and make the oil move away, and now they move the oil further down the lane or just take the oil completely off the lane, which you'll see during the tournament like we had yesterday where we had 8 on a lane. The first few games, everybody's way out on the outside of the gutter playing. By the time they were done,
hard-fought game, low score,
a
tournament type of atmosphere.
All right, Richard picked up a strike in his first frame. He's working on lane 19, looking for a double right here. And, ooh, he can't get it to go. Almost fell over, leaves the 5-pin. So Richard will try to pick that up for a spare.
This should be an easy spare, Scott.
Easy for who?
This one's even easy for you.
Oh, okay. But I have missed it. All right, here is Richard Vitko looking for a spare in frame number 2 of game number 2 of the 2nd annual Fisher Motors Shootout, and he picks it up. So that'll get us back to Greg McCullough, who is working on a spare. Again, the winner of this will move on to take on Ron Zutz.
Scott, I've been watching the characteristics of the lanes 19 and 20, and I think 20 is hooking a little more than 19 for both the bowlers. Now, there was a perfect example there. Greg came in high on lane
Looked
20.
like he was a little slow on the approach on that shot there, Larry.
All right, so he leaves, he gets 8. That gives him an 18 through 1 frame and trying to work on a spare right here. Boy, I tell you, these bowlers have, I mean, this is Richard Vitko's 14th game of the day.
Yeah, they're used to it. They could bowl hundreds of games the way these guys have with their equipment drilled. And
nice spare pickup right there, Larry.
Good shot. He just, I think he used his regular strike ball on that shot and just moved to the right and went between them.
I was just going to comment to you, Jeff. Yeah, these guys are used to bowling that many games. I think my arm would fall off if I bowled that many. In fact, I don't even know if I could get it down the lane on my 14th game.
I remember back in the days, you don't see many of them around the state anymore. There used to be 20 and 25 game marathons where you bowled 20 games in one day. That was tough.
All right, here is Greg McCullough working on a spare. Did he get enough? Oh, does it fall? It wobbles.
It stands. He was trying to stare it down, though. Did you see that
You betcha.
stare?
You know, it's always like in any sport that you participate in is sometimes it's better to be lucky than be good, and he wasn't lucky there. So Greg will be looking to pick that up for his 3rd straight spare. He is 37 through 2, working on a spare in the third.
He couldn't throw that much ball much better, Scott.
You know, I've said that, Larry, in league bowling during my career, that boy, sometimes I just think that you threw the ball as well as you could, but it doesn't take them all down. What happens there?
Well, what happens is the ball actually deflects the pins away, and the pins don't hit the pins that they're supposed to hit. Like I was saying with these left-handers when they were leaving the 7-pin, it is actually the 4-pin's job to take the 7-pin out, if you're solid in the pocket. And a lot of times it just doesn't do it.
And Richard Vitko on his shot in the third frame leaves a split of 4-7, 6-10.
I think I'm picking up a little characteristic. That right lane is hooking a little more than the left.
Ooh, he almost. Nice job there of trying to pick up the spare. So Richard opens in the 20, or in the lane number 20 in the third. He's at 43 through 3. And boy, I tell you, one little mistake can cost you in the game of bowling.
And right now we have a 4-pin match in the third frame.
All right, here's Richard Vitko in the fourth. And wow, nice shot there.
Great recovery. Threw that ball really, really good.
Tell you what, the camaraderie between these bowlers, even though they're going head-to-head here, you know, a lot of these bowlers know each other, and a lot of friendships have been made through tournaments like this, haven't they, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. Most of these guys all know each other. They bowl in all the big high-dollar tournaments in the tri-state area.
And they may be friends off the lanes, but right now they're competitors. Nice ball there by McCullough.
Good shot.
Beautiful
now he's
shot.
got to come back with a double.
All right, so Greg McCullough working on a strike in the fourth. Greg with 57 now through 3 with a strike in the fourth. Vitko is at 43 through 3 with a strike in the fourth. Greg McCullough, left-hander from Fargo, North Dakota. Did he get it up? No, left her out.
He looked down, Scott, at his feet. He wasn't right from the start there. I think he got a little out of balance, and he wasn't happy with that shot right off his hand.
Well, before we get back to the action, we want to congratulate Mindy Meyer, the first ever female to qualify for Sunday's competition. The producers of the Communication Corps caught up with her, and here you find out a little more about the Alexandria, Minnesota bowler.
It's a young tournament, but that doesn't mean that the accomplishments of some of the best bowlers in the region should go unnoticed.
My name is Mindy Meyer. I'm from Alexandria, Minnesota. Just graduated from St. Cloud State University.
Mindy Meyer will go down in history as the first woman to make the second round qualifying cut of the Fisher Motor Shootout and move on to the 11-game shootout on the final day of the event.
So I knew it was going to be a little tough. There's not a lot out there for women to bowl. So I kind of decided I'd try a little bit with the men, and it finally worked out, and I made my first cut and got a little money, so that was pretty good.
From a field of over 140 bowlers, only 2 women bowled the event, and Mindy Myers was not only the first woman to ever qualify for the second round, but she was also one of the youngest bowlers ever to qualify.
I grew up in a bowling alley. Since I could hold a ball and run down the lane, pretty much, I even got stitches from trying to bowl. So a lot of experience. I have shot 300. Right now it's a 197. I move my feet, and when necessary I change balls, but I'm still learning all that good stuff. Practice, practice, practice. Work on your spares. That's the key.
Mindy Myers is definitely an inspiration for not only women, but all young and old bowlers alike, hoping to strive for the best in their game.
I had a great time. It was a good experience. I'm glad I came.
All right, so he'll try to pick the spare up. By the way, we don't have any returnees from last year's first annual in the finals here. Jim Dietrich was our winner last year, didn't make the finals, as did the second, third, fourth, and fifth place bowlers.
I think it ended up the closest person was our second place finish last year, Arnie Gertis. He just barely missed the top 5.
Finished 8th.
By 33 pins, it looks like he just missed.
All right, so McCullough picks up his spare, and now Vitko working on a strike in the 5th. And he could really tighten this match up.
This is a big ball. Oh, something bothered him. He stepped off.
That is the smart thing to do when you have something bother you on the approach. You see a lot of people, they'll just take their hand out of the ball and
just regroup.
the right thing to do is to step off the approach and start over.
Well, he leaves, let's see, the 3-6-10?
Yep, that's the 3-6-10, Scott.
Pretty, I'm learning a lot about this
You're
game.
getting better.
All right, here is Richard Vitko trying to pick up the spare here, and he does. Solid spare there. He is now at 63 through 4 frames with a spare in the 5th, and his opponent, Greg McCullough, right now at 77 through 4 frames with a spare in the 5th. All right, so here is Vitko. Yeah, that was solid right there,
Good
Larry.
shot. That was a good shot. He'd like to have that one over on lane 20.
Jeff, compared to last year, averages, scores this week, were they better or maybe a little less than last year?
A lot less, Scott. Last year, to make the top 36 that bowled on Sunday, you needed to average 217.
Wow.
This year, you needed to average, I don't remember what it was, 204, I think it was.
McCullough picks up a strike in the 6th frame.
That's a really big shot there, Scott. That gives him the advantage in the match.
Yep. He is 97 through 5 with a strike, and Vitko with a 83 through 5 with a strike in the 6th.
I would like to add, Scott, we had one woman qualify this year, Mindy Meyer. So that's good. She's a good young bowler.
It's nice to see them get out and compete in events like this. Ooh.
It's what they call the bucket. He just doesn't look like neither of the players really look like they're comfortable on lane 19 this game at all.
No, I think the lane tightened up on 19, Jeff.
Well, I think that shot there, he got on the approach, looked like he was going to do one thing, and then he changed and did another thing, Larry.
Yeah, it looked like it. They're struggling on the left lane right now.
All right, trying to get the spare here in the 6th frame. Oh,
and he chopped that.
Chopped that off. In the 7th frame. So he'll open in the 7th. He's 125 through 7 frames. And right now, Larry, this opens the door up for Richard Vitko.
He'll be close. I'll bet you he'll be close on this shot.
All right, Richard won our first match today, beating Jonathan Matter of Moorhead, Minnesota, 203 to 194, trying to move another step closer to the Fisher Motors Shootout Championship.
He got that out on the lane. Very good shot.
That was on his lane 20.
That looked pretty good from the start.
Yeah.
All right, so he'll work on a double right here in the 8th and could take...
I just noticed now he's using a different ball this time on lane 19. He switched balls. His other ball that he threw on 20 just came back, so he's switched balls on lane 19.
All right, looking for a turkey right here is Richard Vitko. He got it.
It was a good ball change.
What a ball change there, huh, Larry?
I think he's using different balls on different lanes right now.
Wow, and he showed some emotion on that one. So he, right now, working on a turkey. He has 83 through 5 with 3 strikes. Big couple of frames coming here for Greg McCullough.
Amazing how fast the advantage changes.
Exactly. Boy, he is really struggling right now.
Greg is just struggling right now.
He tried
it looks
something
like
there.
Yeah,
Definitely
I think
did
he
not
tried
work.
to get a little more hit on the ball, or what they call lift, and I think he just hooked that a little early.
All right, the winner of this will move on to play Ron Zutz, who is the second seeded coming in. Yep, semifinals will be next. And the loser here will, I guess, not lose a lot, or he'll lose something, but he'll
picked up the washout.
He'll take a check home for $1,400.
$1,400 for 4th place.
Tell you what, I would like to make that in a couple of days of bowling. Huh?
So Greg has to strike here, Scott, to even stay in the match.
We're still in
and hope
negotiations.
something happens.
All right, he's got to strike here, as Larry said, to stay in the match.
And hope something happens.
Greg McCullough on lane 19 needs a strike to stay in the game. And he got it. Boy, I tell you, that's a pressure shot right there, isn't it, Larry?
So he has...
Wow. It's really great for me as a once-a-week bowler, that sort of thing, who's carries about a 148, 149 average to see
you're at
bowlers
least 150, we know.
Well, I have my first back-to-back 500 series the last couple of weeks. with my handicap. Here is Vitko on lane 20. Oh, wow, he's in a groove right now. Looks like he's kind of in a,
Looks
got
like
the
he
rhythm.
made a big move on the lane there. He was way further in the lane than he was in the last shot.
He's working on 4 strikes here in the 9th.
He's using 2 different bowling balls, Scott.
Right now, Greg McCullough is 145 through 8 with a strike up in the 9th. And Ditko working on 4 straight. And will it be 5? Yes, it will. Boy, he's kind of putting the hammer down right now on Greg McCullough.
That was the nail in the coffin right there, Scott.
All right, so Richard Vitko, who came in as our number 5 seed, will move on and play in the semifinals. We will finish up this match here. And I tell you what, once you take the pressure off that you know you won, it's basically you just try to stay in rhythm, don't you, Jeff?
Just keep your foot behind the fall line and make sure the ball stays on the lane, Scott.
All right. And he leaves, or he finished with a 217. Richard Vitko with a 217 will win his 2nd straight match in this stepladder tournament and move on to the semifinals. Here's Greg McCullough now to finish up his game.
The best he can get is 205 if he strikes out.
All right, so Greg McCullough with leaving a 7-pin, just finishing it out here. And he'll pick up the spare there. He's can finish with a possible 165, 185 is the best he can do. Greg just kind of struggled in this match and just really didn't get it going. Leaves another solid 7. He's going to finish with a 184. And so the winner of our 2nd match of the day here on the Fisher Motors Shootout is Richard Vitko of Ramsey, Minnesota, with a final score of 217 to 184 over Greg McCullough. McCullough will pick up a check for $1,400. Richard Vitko will move on to our semifinal match and take on Ron Zutz of Warren, Minnesota. Or you're watching the 2005 Fisher Motor Shootout.
This portion of today's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light, IRET, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and these great sponsors.
Adding new siding and windows is an investment, and North Country Home Improvement is the smart choice to help you make it. North Country is your authorized distributor for high-quality Simonton vinyl windows, Colby & Colby windows, and quality siding from Gentex and Norandex. Combine these fine products with 18 years of construction experience, and you'll transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Call Troy Westmeyer for a free estimate. Remember, at North Country Home Improvement, if it's not good enough for them, it's not good enough for you.
If protecting the things you value in life is causing you high anxiety, it's time you call Bremer Insurance. For 100 years, Bremer Insurance has offered the protection for home, life, auto, and business that has given the Minot area peace of mind.
Experience Fisher Motors, where they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one.
The thing I enjoyed most about buying a vehicle from Fisher Motors is not being pressured. The overall experience with Fisher Motors, with Teresa and the service department, I would recommend it to anyone.
The reason I bought from Fisher Motor is because I've been dealing with them for many years. Teresa was my salesperson. I told her just what I wanted, and she was very efficient. She led me right to the car that I am driving today.
My Fisher Motors experience was great. Rick Teagle, my salesman, wonderful, honest, friendly. You can't beat them. Things haven't changed. They're just all great people here. And this is exactly why I came to Fisher Motors. I knew Rick was here, and I wanted to buy a car from him. What more could I want? Rick's the man. Did you get that?
This portion of today's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light, IRET, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and these great sponsors.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to the 2005 second annual Fisher Motors Shootout. And in our second match of the day, we had Richard Vitko moving on again with a 217 to 184 win over Greg McCullough. Larry, Greg just kind of struggled throughout.
Greg was struggling right from the start, and Richard, I've always liked to, when I bowled the stepladder finals, I've always liked to start from the lower position and work my way up, and I think sometimes you have a little better advantage, especially if you can read the lanes. And right now, Richard, he looks like he's got it going, Scott.
All right, and the winner of our second match is with Jeff Craig. Jeff?
Hi, Richard. Looks like you had a big ball change there on lane 20 in the middle of that match.
Yeah, I had one shot where it jumped up on me and thought it threw it pretty bad too, so I went back and threw it again. I left a 5-count wash. I was like, well, time to make a change or do something before it gets too late. So I made the correct ball change and got the job done. Again, he's another great player. He bowled good all day today.
Okay, great job and good luck in the next match.
Before we get into our next match, Larry Craig's going to walk us through a little bowling tip, everyone's favorite subject, picking up the 10-pin or the 7-pin for lefties. Larry, why is this so difficult?
We'll be having Jeff Craig. He'll be shooting the spare to show you an example. First thing I'd like to say is the majority of the bowlers, they have bought a spare ball. And the spare ball, we just have 3-4 examples here. We have a Fisher Motors Shootout spare ball, and we have a cartoon spare ball, and we have a pro football spare ball. And you can buy these spare balls in about any type of character you want. All you'd have to do is talk to your pro shop, and they can help you out on your spare ball. The next thing we will be doing is we will be talking about the hand position when you're shooting at the single 10-pin for the right-handers and the 7-pin for the left-hander. First of all, show the hand positions for the spare ball. And the first hand position, he will put his thumb at approximately the 12 o'clock position. This is one of the most popular ways for shooting the spare, and he has his ball a little higher on his, hold it up so he gets his backswing a little farther. And he'll break his wrist a little bit so that the ball doesn't hook. And he will stand to the left of the lane and throw approximately over the third arrow, facing his hips and his shoulders directly at the target. Now, another way that some people do is what they call the suitcase grip. It's keeping your thumb at the 9 o'clock position and releasing the ball just like as if you were carrying a suitcase. That's why it's called a suitcase grip. You just release your thumb and your fingers at the same time, and you come straight up without turning the ball. And for the left-handed bowlers, you're doing exactly the same thing with your hand position. The only thing is you're moving your body to the right and shooting across the third arrow on the left side, or some people feel comfortable shooting on the fourth arrow, and they're throwing and using their hand position the same way. Stand to the left of the lane. He's facing his hips and his shoulders at the target. He's got his thumb at the 12 o'clock position, and he'll come straight up with the arm, and there's a perfect conversion. And that's how you do it. So that's the tip for Fisher Motors Shootout. What you have to remember is to keep your shoulders and your hips lined up with the target.
Thanks, Larry. I'll tell you what, it's semi-final time. The winner of this goes on to play for the $5,000. It'll be the number 2 bowler coming into this match or into this tournament, Ron Zutz of Warren, Minnesota, against Richard Vitko. And this is Ron Zutz. Tell us a little bit about him, Larry. Boy, he didn't get a good start there, did he?
Threw slow on that left lane.
Richard out of Warren, Minnesota. He's a farmer. That's his occupation.
Farmer, big, strong hands, big, strong bowler.
All right, so...
he likes to muscle the ball down the lanes.
All right, so he'll try to pick up this split here. And, nope, he'll open in the first, but...
He does the right thing and just gets the count.
I'm Ron Zutz from Warren, Minnesota. I'm a farmer up there and basically just do a lot of bowling in the wintertime, I guess. Well, quite a few. I go around with a lot of guys from Grand Forks, and I run through the Fargo boys a lot. And I go to ABC and different places around the local area. I fought tooth and nail just to get in and lucked out. I think it's right around 34th or 35th, I'm not exactly sure. And I thought about last night for a while what I might do different today, and I made some different adjustments, and it seems so far to have paid off right now anyhow.
I'd like to mention that Ron is one of our regular tournament bowlers here at North Hill Bowl. They comes to almost every single tournament we've had for probably the last 5-6 years.
All right, so here's Richard Vitko. He's gotten a lot of TV exposure today, but I think he kind of enjoys that because he's got a chance to win $5 grand. Wow, he really seems like he's in a zone of some kind.
He's in the zone. We'll see how he does on the left lane, and if he finds that left lane right now, we could expect a high score this game, Scott, by both of them.
Richard is out of Moorhead, Minnesota. Excuse me, not out of Moorhead. He's out of Ramsey, Minnesota. In fact,
It shows you how much confidence and how well he knows his game to just change balls right in the middle of a game when you got $5,000 on the line.
Wow,
and he got a shaker.
There.
He got the shaker.
So he opens up with 2 strikes and kind of puts the pressure early here on Ron Zutz. Winner of this will play for $5,000 in the final match against Tom Clark, our top bowler coming into this stepladder tournament from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Boy, and he got a little high there, didn't he?
Raised up at the line that time and pulled the ball across his body.
All right, Jeff, you're saying this that Ron has never been on a television show?
I'm not sure. I was just asking Larry.
Oh, you're
Larry's
asking
got
Larry.
I was wondering that too. I was just thinking of
that he
that
looks
too,
like-
Jeff. I don't know if he's had any TV experience.
He looks like he's really nervous on the approach. Not
I
very
see the
comfortable
colors
at all.
coming into his face on his cheeks a little. He might be a little nervous.
All right, that he picked up the spare there in the second. The winner of this, again, moves on to the title match. The loser will take home $2,200 for third place here in the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout. Here is Ron on the lane number 19. Again,
he's pulled his
finished on.
all 3 shots. He's pulled.
He just doesn't look loose at all.
No, he looks real tight, Jeff.
All right, so this is a real opening for Richard Vitko with starting out with 2 strikes.
Right now in this part of the match, Scott, this is going to be a key spare.
All right, here is Ron Zutz. And he will. Oh,
and he
chopped
missed
it.
that.
Boy, that really puts the pressure on him. And now Richard Vitko can do a lot of damage in
A lot
these
of
next 2
damage here.
frames.
He'll probably put the hammer down, especially on this right lane.
All right, Ron has 35 through 3 with an open.
Richard's been close on this lane all day. Trust is a must. And he trusted that one. That's close. Very good ball.
Oh, I'll tell you what, if he continues at this pace, he's going to be a tough bowler to beat.
Right.
No doubt about that shot at all,
No,
Scott.
he's got that right lane down.
He's got 3 in a row, working on 4.
He was a little light on this left lane. He got a shaker last time, so we'll see if he does anything on his release of the ball.
All right, so Richard Vitko in the 4th frame. Working
Looks
on
good. Looks
3.
very good. Whoa,
Oh,
he come in
left it
high.
a little high. Jeff, to produce this event and to pull this thing off, I know that you get a lot of the credit, and I know you do a lot of the work, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but I'll tell you what, there's a whole heck of a lot of people that volunteer their services, people here at North Hill Bowl and around the bowling community that really come out and support this.
Richard gets the spare there. Yeah, I'd really like to thank everyone. The people I'd like to thank the most are the sponsors. This year when Morris and I were out going to sponsors, getting money for all the tournaments this year, including the men's state tournament, we didn't have one single sponsor say no. Everybody that we went to and we asked all jumped right on, and the whole community is just really behind this tournament this year.
All right, Ron Zutz finally comes back and gets a strike there, Larry, in his 4th frame, and he really has to he's going to have to string some here now
He
because
knows the score. He knows he needs
that
at
one
least the 5-bagger here.
That one will loosen him up a little. Though.
I think it will.
If I was him, I'd move about 3-4 boards left and throw the same shot he's been throwing.
All right, there's Ron Zutz, and yes, he got it. Boy, he comes back with a double. I think maybe now he's relaxed a little bit, and he's kind of found himself here. So Richard Vitko knew that Ron Zutz was not going to go away. And we'll have to
back. He comes back and says kind of a small thank you.
All right, here's Richard Vitko, who came in as our number 5 seed, and right now he is 1 match away from playing for the $5,000 first prize. Oh,
solid 8-pin.
Solid.
Can't throw
8-pin.
it any better.
That's the case of where this, like we were talking earlier, Scott, when the pins just didn't do their job. He threw the ball perfect. The 5-pin's supposed to take the 8 out, and the deflection just doesn't touch it.
All right, so Vitko will try to spare here in his 5th frame. He has 96 through 4. And he will pick it up. Some of you avid bowlers know how tough it is just to break 200, but when you think about 140 people bowling 10 plus games in a day, and that it takes an average of at least 204 in those games to make the final 36, not to mention the final 5. That gives you an idea of just how tough it is to make the finals of the Fisher Motors Shootout. Our producers at the Communication Corps were there to capture the action.
The 2nd annual Fisher Motors Shootout saw over 140 bowlers from 6 states in Canada show up for the first round of 8 games to qualify for the 2nd round. As you can see, it was a packed crowd on a very cold weekend. The commitment by the bowlers to an event like this shows a great deal about the character of this region and this sport. And likewise, the great team at North Hill Bowl and Fisher Motors put a lot of work into making this tournament a successful and fun one.
I just can't do it, Captain. I don't have the powder.
After an exciting first day, full of entertainment, prize giveaways, and competitive bowling, 36 bowlers were chosen to move on to the 2nd round, including some old favorites like last year's Fisher Motor Shootout champ Jim Diedrich and runner-up Ernie Gertis, and some local favorites like Ryan Selk, Steve Nush, Rory Rice, and so many more. The 2nd round of the tourney consisted of a 10-game match play shootout on the final day of the event, with a position round as the 11th heading into the final 5. The scores began to heat up, and the format of the tournament, allowing the winner of each game a bonus of 30 pins for a victory, created a number of close calls and exciting bowling for hundreds of spectators. There was a lot of stiff competition and some really intense moments, including the 10th game of the day when local Minot hero Ryan Selk had an opportunity to guarantee his spot in the final 5, but missed by just 12 pins. When it was all said and done, the final 5 were announced, and a quick timeout was taken for preparations of the television broadcast stepladder finals produced by the Communication Corps for the 2nd annual Fisher Motor Shootout at Minot, North Dakota's North Hill Bowl.
This portion of today's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light, IRET, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and these great sponsors.
My Fisher Motors experience was great. Rick Teagle, my salesman, wonderful, honest, friendly. You can't beat them. Things haven't changed. They're just all great people here. And this is exactly why I came to Fisher Motors. I knew Rick was here, and I wanted to buy a car from him. What more could I want? Rick's the man. Did you get that?
This portion of today's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light, IRET, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and these great sponsors.
You're watching the 2nd annual Fisher Motor Shootout live, or not live, but almost live here from Minot's North Hill Bowl. And Richard leaves, must have left a solid 10 pin. So he will go after the spare here.
Scott, almost 90% of the bowlers nowadays, your better bowlers, he just went by it, just as I was going to say. Go to a harder surface bowling ball for the 10 pin. They move to the left and just throw it some of them throw it as hard as they want to.
All right, just what we were talking about just a little bit ago, that Richard Vitko could open the door, and he has opened the door a little bit here for Ron Zutz. Almost Brooklyn there. He almost got the Brooklyn side, but leaves.
Ron just looks like he just can't settle down.
The 6-9-10. He is now 62 through, what is that, Jeff? 5 through 4. Oh, he had a strike in the 5th, so he's looking to pick up the spare here. He does. So he will be 82 through 5 with a spare in the 6th. Right now, Richard Vitko is 124 through 6. He had an open in that 6th frame.
Scott, he's wearing an arm guard, and I just happened to notice it looks like he dialed it down. So what you do when you dial your arm guard down is he's trying to take a little hook off of the ball right now. And we'll see if it'll go a little straighter, and that's what it did.
Nice ball there by...
I noticed that. That's what he did that time.
Ron Zutz, I'll tell you what. He struggled starting off, but he has come back strong here and has put some pressure on Richard Vitko. He has 102 now through 6 with a strike in the 7th. So Richard Vitko has to...
Ron really needed that strike that time.
Richard trying to turn up the heat right here. Boy, he got a little high again there.
Now the bowling gremlins are coming in. 8 pin on lane 20. Now he left the 7 pin this time.
All right, so he'll look to pick that spare up. This is the semifinal match of the 2005 Fisher Motors Shootout winner to play for the championship game against the #1 seed, Tom Clark, out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Here's Vitko looking to pick up his spare, and he got it. Boy, I looked for a time that ball wasn't going to hook far enough to get to the 7 pin. But then I don't, when I bowl, it's more of a straight ball right down the middle. And hope I don't get a split. So here is Richard.
Trying real hard not to laugh, Scott.
I know. You can laugh. You've watched me bowl before. Here's Richard Vitko on lane 19, his 8th frame of the night. Didn't carry it again, and he leaves the 6-10 pin.
This really is going to tighten up the match.
So what looked early as maybe it would be a early exit for Ron Zutz has become a very competitive match here.
And this no easy spare right here either.
And he does pick it up. So Richard Vitko through 7 now has 142 with a spare in the 8th. And right now, Ron Zutz working on a 102 through 5 with a strike, or through 6, excuse me, with a strike in the 7th. A double here would be big.
Don't kid yourself. He knows he needs this. Oh, he lifted that one good.
Oh, and he leaves a solid 10 pin.
That was a great shot. Perfect execution on the approach.
Boy, and sometimes when things like that happen to you, Larry, where you get, you make that nice shot and you think you got the perfect shot and you don't get it, you start talking to yourself.
Some people do more than talk to themselves. We've had a few chairs flying.
Yeah. And, all right, so he picks up the spare. That will put him at 122 through 7 with a spare in the 8th. And already Richard Vitko has a spare in the 8th. Strike here would be big for Mr. Zutz. And he'll...
just didn't get the lift on that shot, though.
Got 7 on that one to put him at 139 through 8 with a 7 showing in the 9th. Getting back to what we were talking about before, the hard work that's put in by all the individuals around here in North Hill Bowl and again in the Bowling Association here in Minot.
It really was a team effort this year. I'd like to thank all my family again. Everybody was here. My brother and my sister, my future brother-in-law, my father and my stepmother here helping run the tournament all weekend long, and just all the employees from here. Renee and had some of her kids up helping run the desk, and it was just a great event all around. A lot of familiar faces coming from. We had people here from South Dakota. And he gets a really great shot there.
Nice shot by Vitko there, a strike in the ninth.
We had bowlers from, I think it was 4 different states, 6 states. Kirk just told me 6 states from bowlers that participated in the tournament this year. And probably 3/4 of them are the ones that bowled last year, and they say they're going to keep returning. They're really happy with the event.
And you know, you got to give a lot of these guys from out of state a lot of credit for coming this year, because we had some tough weather last week with some storms and that sort of thing. And I know you talked to some of them, like on Tuesday and Wednesday, said they wanted rooms for an extra day because they were coming early.
I was real nervous on Wednesday when we had that. I think it was 60. It's a great shot that pretty much locks up the match for them. When we had that 60 below wind chill, a lot of the people were afraid they wouldn't be able to get out of the towns because they were advising no travel. They're closing the gates all over. They couldn't even come, they didn't think.
Wow. Larry, I'll tell you what, Richard Vitko right here responded after getting the pressure put on from him. He came back with 2 big frames right there.
That was 2 big frames by Richard. All he has to do is stay behind the foul line and follow through. And
so Richard Vitko, who came in as our number 5 seed, will move all the way up the step ladder and will play for the $5,000 in first prize money here.
He was the 4th seed, Scott.
Okay, you're right. He beat the 5th seed, but still, he's won a lot of matches here. He's won. This will be his 3rd straight win right here. But he'll play Tom Clark for all the money, or not all the money, but the big prize money of $5,000. Tom has sat here and watched all of this, and now he's the one that gets to start being nervous, right, Larry?
Tom has a lot of credentials, Scott, and I'll go through some of them, but I don't think the pressure will bother Tom. It's just going to be a matter of executing and carrying.
All right, so Ron Zutz just finishing up his game. He really had a tough go of it today, but he will take home a check for what, $2,200. Not a bad weekend. I'd like to take that home. All right, so Richard Vitko wins our semifinal match and moves on to the championship match against our top bowler for the weekend, Tom Clark from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Stick with us. The championship game of the 2nd annual Fisher Motors Shootout is coming up next.
This portion of today's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light, IRET, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and these great sponsors.
Experience Fisher Motors, where they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one.
The thing I enjoyed most about buying a vehicle from Fisher Motors is not being pressured. The overall experience with Fisher Motors, with Teresa and the service department, I would recommend it to anyone.
The reason I bought from Fisher Motor is because I've been dealing with them for many years. Teresa was my salesperson. I told her just what I wanted, and she was very efficient. She led me right to the car that I am driving today.
Welcome to First Western Bank and Trust, and its only locally owned bank.
And because we're right here, your banking decision is made here.
Faster and better.
And your money goes to work right here in our community.
And because we know you, we know your dreams. We know your needs. And you know us.
We're First Western Bank and Trust, and together we're banking on Minot.
Nothing sounds better than pizza and Pepsi. It's the cola.
When it comes to your finances, it's a comfort to know that all of your needs are being well managed by a team of experts who care. At Brady Marts, we're dedicated to providing more than just your basic tax planning. but also a commitment to help you or your business create a well-rounded financial system that will protect your long-term needs and provide a balance to your overall plans. Our mission is to provide good quality service and help our clients achieve their financial goals. Brady Martz has the experience and forward thinking to give you the comfort you deserve. For comprehensive financial support and more, trust Brady Martz.
Adding new siding and windows is an investment, and North Country Home Improvement is the smart choice to help you make it. North Country is your authorized distributor for high-quality Simonton vinyl windows, Colby & Colby windows, and quality siding from Gentex and Norandex. Combine these fine products with 18 years of construction experience, and you'll transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Call Troy Westmeyer for a free estimate. Remember, at North Country Home Improvement, if it's not good enough for them, it's not good enough for you.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout, and we are down to our championship match, and one of them we knew a long time ago was Tom Clark. The other one will be Richard Vitko, who has won 3 straight matches to get to this title match, and Jeff Craig is with Richard.
Okay, Richard, you came up 4th qualifier through the field, and you're going for the championship match. What's your strategy?
Strategy is keep going, making good shots. Tom's another great player, led all day. It's going to be tough to beat. Other than that, wishing best of luck to bowling today and see what happens.
Okay, good luck. Back to Scott.
All right, thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Richard. The other top gun, the top bowler of the weekend, Tom Clark of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, is with Jeff Craig.
Okay, Tom, we're getting ready to go to the final championship match. Looks like Richard's in kind of a little groove there. What's your strategy?
I really can't do anything about what Richard's going to do because, I know he's going to throw a lot of good shots. I just got to keep doing what I've been doing all day and throw strikes and throw the ball 12 times real well, and everything should take care of itself. So.
Okay, good luck.
All right, thank you,
Back to
Jeff.
Scott.
Thanks, Jeff, and thank you, Mr. Clark. And we're ready, so let's get to it. We've got Tom Clark of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, versus Richard Vitko of Ramsey, Minnesota, in the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout Championship match.
My Fisher Motors experience was great. Rick Teagle, my salesman, wonderful, honest, friendly. You can't beat them. Things haven't changed. They're just all great people here. And this is exactly why I came to Fisher Motors. I knew Rick was here, and I wanted to buy a car from him. What more could I want? Rick's the man. Did you get that?
If protecting the things you value in life is causing you high anxiety, it's time you call Bremer Insurance. For 100 years, Bremer Insurance has offered the protection for home, life, auto, and business that has given the Minot area peace of mind.
Since the very beginning, Yamaha Home Makeover has been beautifying houses, inspiring homeowners, and bringing families closer together. And now we're celebrating with our best offer of the year, 3.9% APR for 24 months on every Yamaha motorcycle and ATV, plus up to $200 cash back. Yamaha Home Makeover, tearing down walls, improving lives.
Don't miss Yamaha's best finance offer yet. Stop by Valley Sport and Marine, affordable family recreation.
Adding new siding and windows is an investment, and North Country Home Improvement is the smart choice to help you make it. North Country is your authorized distributor for high-quality Simonton vinyl windows, Colby & Colby windows, and quality siding from Gentex and Norandex. Combine these fine products with 18 years of construction experience, and you'll transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Call Troy Westmeyer for a free estimate. Remember, at North Country Home Improvement, if it's not good enough for them, it's not good enough for you.
Dining at Primo is a journey into fabulous food. Every journey begins with a single step. At Primo, that step is in the kitchen, where creative chefs craft exceptional American and Italian cuisine. The journey enhanced with excellent service, elegant atmosphere, and cityscape views, topped with North Dakota's largest selection of single malt scotches and cognacs. Best of all, you can dress casual and take this dining journey at affordable prices. Primo at the International Inn. Your table is waiting.
Welcome to First Western Bank and Trust, and its only locally owned bank.
And because we're right here, your banking decision is made here.
Faster and better.
And your money goes to work right here in our community.
And because we know you, we know your dreams. We know your needs.
And you know us.
We're First Western Bank and Trust, and together we're banking on Minot.
This portion of today's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light, IRET, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and these great sponsors.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout. It's the championship match. This will feature Richard Vitko of Ramsey, Minnesota, and the top bowler of the weekend, who has some fans in the crowd. He's from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Tom Clark. This should be a classic matchup, Larry.
This should be a good match. Tom has a resume as long as my arm. 30 300 games, Scott. 18 299 games. He has bowled on the PBA Tour in 1985 and 1986.
And his first ball of the day, he leaves a 4-7.
My name's Tom Clark. I'm from Sioux Falls, originally from Rapid City. I bowled 7 very bad games and I needed 240 the last game, and I got in a pair that helped me get it. Shot 250. I just knew today was going to be better. Yesterday was a gift, and when you do that this much and get up there in years like me, you got to take advantage of those gifts.
It was interesting when I was just interviewing Tom up there. He said he never dreamed he'd be here yesterday. After 6 games, he said he was even just barely averaging 200, and he shot 2 really good games, the last 2 games to sneak in. He was the 33rd qualifier yesterday, and today he's the top seed.
And that tells you that if you keep with it, good things can happen. Here's Tom trying to pick the spare up in the first, and does. So he starts it out with a spare, and Richard Vitko in his 4th game of this stepladder tournament, in his 16th game of the day, going for $5,000 in cold, hard cash.
Scott, Richard has 7 300 games. I know a lot of the bowlers here, I imagine the 300 games are in the hundreds with all the bowlers that were here.
Nice ball there. He starts it out with a strike. You know, going back to what you were talking about, all the people that are involved in putting this event on. But I'll tell you what, and it goes to the people here at North Hill Bowl. But if it wasn't for proprietors Morris Anderson and Betty Anderson, who support this from day one, this wouldn't be accomplished.
It's really a pleasure to work for Morris Anderson. It's a great thing he did this year. You know, last year being the first annual, everything kind of comes in, costs a little more than you estimate, and Morris just went with it and said we're going to keep going with the tournament. We really didn't make much money off the tournament last year.
Well, I tell you, with Morris Anderson and Betty around here all these years in the bowling business, this is the reason why Minot's one of the bowling capitals of this upper Midwest.
Ooh, that was a...
Yeah, he clipped that one, and he starts out with a open. Okay, so we're back to Tom Clark.
Scott, Tom was telling me when I was talking to him that he bowled against me 18 years ago in a tournament.
Wow.
So I hate to...
See, 18 years ago, I was only about 20. Oh, wait.
So he's
wasn't never very good math.
Tom has been around.
Boy, Tom comes back with a strike. So he follows his spare in the first with a strike in the second. Right now, Richard Vitko with a spare in the... or a strike in the first and an open in the second, as we play for the championship of our 2005 second annual Fisher Motors Shootout.
Tom is a member of the South Dakota State Bowling Hall of Fame.
All right.
Takes a lot of credentials to get in the Hall of Fame.
Tom Clark on the lane number 19 in his 3rd frame in this championship match. And he does carry it. He comes back with a double.
That was a beautiful shot.
Winner here takes home $5,000, and the loser is guaranteed $3,000. And Larry, you're making the comment, you know, when you've played in stepladder tournaments like this, you like to start from the lower end because you get into some kind of groove rhythm. But for Tom, he knew he was going home with $3,000 today.
Right, so he's just going out there and doing the best he can.
Richard gets a little high on that one.
He really did get the break to get the 10-pin to fall there.
All right, so Richard Vitko with an 8 in the third frame. He is 28 through 2. And
I kind of get the feeling right now that Richard acts like he's just going to be happy with second place, and he shouldn't be there. He should get that killer instinct back.
All right, so he will pick up the spare on lane number 20, which is his third frame. Now he'll move over and
get aggressive. He's getting lackadaisical, and he should get aggressive and start hitting the shot.
All right, so here's Richard Vitko out of Ramsey, Minnesota on lane number 19 in his fourth frame, working on a spare.
Show him emotion now. Get in that pocket.
No, he didn't carry that one either. Boy, he is
looks like he might be running out of gas a little.
Yep, the 16th game of today. And how many games did they have yesterday, Jeff?
8 games. 8 games yesterday.
So he's bowled 24 games in a little over 24 hours. And he got that one to go, so he picks up the spare in the fourth, but he really opens the door for Tom Clark here.
Scott, if you were to teach somebody how to bowl, and this is a perfect example of how you should bowl. Good, solid arm swing. You just watch his arm. It's way above his head. He just lifts the ball way up past his ear.
All right, Tom Clark on lane number 20, which is his fourth frame. And he will, he didn't, got just a little high on that one.
He got a little high. He'll be happy with that shot.
All right, so he'll try to pick up the spare right here. Again, you're watching the 2005 second annual Fisher Motors Shootout here from Minot's North Hill Bowl. And let's see, Tom will pick up his spare and move on to lane number 19th and his fifth frame for Tom. He is right now 68 through 4 with a, 68 through 3 with a spare in the fourth.
Scott, a lot of these bowlers, they travel, they probably, I'd say the minimum amount of bowling balls they probably have is 5, and a lot of them have 9, 10, 12 bowling balls they carry to a bowling tournament nowadays.
All right, nice crowd on hand today for this championship shootout. Clark ready on lane 19. And he got it. Boy, that was solid.
Beautiful ball.
And boy, you saw the reaction from Tom Clark right there. And now he's got 88 through 4 with a strike in the fifth.
Right now, Tom wants this a little more than Richard.
All right, here is Vitko in lane 20, his fifth frame, and he got it a little high again. You know, we talk about all the people involved here at the bowling alley that participate in this Fisher Shootout, but boy, if you didn't have Fisher Motors, Steve Zahn and Fisher Motors in support of this, this thing would never go off.
No, I really owe a big thanks to Steve Zahn and Ed Steckler, all the people, and John Stewart from Fisher Motors. They really stepped up this year and helped us promote the tournament. And without them, I don't think any of us would be here today.
All right, Vitko picks up his spare in the fifth to move on to the sixth. Still a lot of bowling to go here, Larry. This one is in no way over yet.
Richard's looking a little in amazement. I think the lane's dried out a little more on him, but he's got to just start getting aggressive and throw that ball down the lane.
All right. He could. Boy, I thought he would carry that 7-pin there, but didn't.
It was a much better shot. He made a big adjustment on the approach. It looks like he moved right or left on the approach.
That gives him 82 through 5, working on looking for a spare here in the sixth. Right now, Tom Clark is 88 through 4 with a strike in the fifth. And Vitko will pick up his spare in the sixth. Well, things are heating up. We're down to the wire. And, folks, when we come back from a word from our sponsors, we'll crown the champion of the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout right here in Minot, North Dakota at North Hill Bowl.
This portion of today's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light, IRET, Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and these great sponsors.
Experience Fisher Motors, where they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one.
The thing I enjoyed most about buying a vehicle from Fisher Motors is not being pressured. The overall experience with Fisher Motors, with Teresa and the service department, I would recommend it to anyone.
The reason I bought from Fisher Motor is because I've been dealing with them for many years. Teresa was my salesperson. I told her just what I wanted, and she was very efficient. She led me right to the car that I am driving today.
Welcome to First Western Bank and Trust, and its only locally owned bank.
And because we're right here, your banking decision is made here.
Faster and better.
And your money goes to work right here in our community.
And because we know you, we know your dreams. We know your needs.
And you know us.
We're First Western Bank and Trust, and together we're banking on Minot.
Nothing sounds better than pizza and Pepsi. It's the cola.
When it comes to your finances, it's a comfort to know that all of your needs are being well managed by a team of experts who care. At Brady Marts, we're dedicated to providing more than just your basic tax planning, but also a commitment to help you or your business create a well-rounded financial system that will protect your long-term needs and provide a balance to your overall plans. Our mission is to provide good quality service and help our clients achieve their financial goals. Brady Marts has the experience and forward thinking to give you the comfort you deserve. For comprehensive financial support and more, trust Brady Marts.
Dining at Primo is a journey into fabulous food. Every journey begins with a single step. At Primo, that step is in the kitchen, where creative chefs craft exceptional American and Italian cuisine. The journey enhanced with excellent service, elegant atmosphere, and cityscape views, topped with North Dakota's largest selection of single malt scotches and cognacs. Best of all, you can dress casual and take this dining journey at affordable prices. Primo at the International Inn. Your table is waiting. If protecting the things you value in life is causing you high anxiety, it's time you called Bremer Insurance. For 100 years, Bremer Insurance has offered the protection for home, life, auto, and business that has given the Minot area peace of mind.
And you know what Tom Clark is thinking right now? Put the hammer down.
Okay, so here's Tom Clark on lane 20, his sixth frame of this game. And, wow, solid there again. You know, Jeff, you mentioned earlier today about all the people that are involved, and you did thank your wife and your family for all that. I know, because you put a lot of hours into this tournament. And we have an opportunity during the course of today in the crowd. Your family is sitting there supporting this event.
There they are, my wife Jenny and my oldest son Josh. He's there. He definitely wanted to be here to watch the show this year. He's watched the videotape thousands of times of last year's show.
All right. That's good. Except that he had to watch me that many times. All right, here's Tom Clark in his seventh frame. And he carries it again. Well, I tell you what, the pressure's really on Richard Vitko right now.
Richard has to do something now. Tom wants this game. He wants this match.
Tom is
you can tell it.
Tom, just a minute here, Jeff. Tom is 88 through 4 with a turkey and working on 4. But here's Vitko in the 7th on lane 20. He leaves a solid 10-pin. All right, here is, picks up the spare. But I tell you right now, he's going to have to string some strikes together or this match could be over early. He is right now 101 through 6 with a spare in the 7th. And as I mentioned, Tom Clark is 88 through 4 with a turkey. There he got it to go. And he raises his hands in exhilaration.
That'll help loosen him up.
Tell you what, he's been a pretty animated bowler from the start today. Fine bowler out of Ramsey, Minnesota.
Tell you what, he's still really not out of the match. Anything could happen here with that strike.
All right, he's got a strike in the 7th, or in the 8th. He's got 121 through 7 with the strike.
Scott, with Tom's game, one thing, he don't get in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have that big hook, and he goes right up the boards, and so I don't. Oh, okay, he did come out a little high.
Oh, and he got it.
Strike.
And he reacts to the crowd. He had turned around to come back.
I haven't even seen that.
And all of a sudden, that pin dropped, and the crowd responded there.
When it's your time, it's your time.
All right, so, yeah, that's exactly right. Sometimes it's your time, sometimes it isn't. And right now, it looks like it's Tom Clark's time. So he's working on 4 strikes. This is his 9th frame. Second annual Fisher Motors Shootout here from Minot's North Hill Bowl. Tom ready on lane 19. Working on 4 straight. And he will get 5.
Beautiful shot.
Boy, I tell you what, that...
You liked that reaction, huh?
Yeah, that was a great reaction. Now 88 through 4 with 5 strikes. I'll tell you what, he's going to be tough to beat here. He's almost going to have to collapse right here. And Richard's going to have to string some strikes. And that... and I think Richard knows it too.
He said.
The white flag is out. Richard will finish up his game, but what a great performance today in the shootout for Richard Vitko. Started in the number 4 slot, won his first match, won his second match, won the semifinal match, and just come up against a very good bowler here in the title match in Tom Clark of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So the $5,000 cash is going to go to South Dakota this year. Here's Richard in the 10th. Splits. Probably a fitting end for Richard's championship match. And you know, and as we talked about earlier, Larry, all these guys are competitors when they get between the lanes. But I'll tell you, friends off the lanes.
Yeah, they pretty much everybody knows everybody's game and what they're capable of doing.
Richard Vitko finishes with a 164 and acknowledges the crowd that's on hand here for coming out and supporting him. So Tom Clark basically just has to go through, just finish up here. And he comes back smiling, leaves a 7 there. He's at 205 through 8 with a strike and a 7 score. So he responded in the title match. He's going to have the high game of the title match, if I'm not mistaken. Or a high game of the stepladder tournament. Well, maybe not, because he just clipped here. And Tom Clark of Sioux Falls, South Dakota is our 2005 Fisher Motors Shootout champion. He beat Richard Vitko in the title match, 231 to 164. We'll be back to talk to the champion right after this.
When it comes to your finances, it's a comfort to know that all of your needs are being well managed by a team of experts who care. At Brady Marts, we're dedicated to providing more than just your basic tax planning, but also a commitment to help you or your business create a well-rounded financial system that will protect your long-term needs and provide a balance to your overall plans. Our mission is to provide good quality service and help our clients achieve their financial goals. Brady Marts has the experience and forward thinking to give you the comfort you deserve. For comprehensive financial support and more, trust Brady Marts.
Since the very beginning, Yamaha Home Makeover has been beautifying houses, inspiring homeowners, and bringing families closer together. And now we're celebrating with our best offer of the year. 3.9% APR for 24 months on every Yamaha motorcycle and ATV, plus up to $200 cash back. Yamaha Home Makeover, tearing down walls, improving lives.
Don't miss Yamaha's best finance offer yet. Stop by Valley Sport and Marine, affordable family recreation.
Adding new siding and windows is an investment, and North Country Home Improvement is the smart choice to help you make it. North Country is your authorized distributor for high-quality Simonton vinyl windows, Colby & Colby windows, and quality siding from Gentex and Norandex. Combine these fine products with 18 years of construction experience, and you'll transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Call Troy Westmeyer for a free estimate. Remember, at North Country Home Improvement, if it's not good enough for them, it's not good enough for you.
There are many things that make International Inn Minot's first choice in lodging. That feeling of quality you notice the moment you walk in. The efforts made to offer entertainment for your whole family, from activities in the large indoor pool area to meals prepared by a 4-star chef in Primo Restaurant and first-class comedy in the Reflections Lounge. Large meeting and banquet rooms are available, and to end your busy day, relax in a comfortable, spacious room. All great reasons to make International Inn your choice for lodging.
My Fisher Motors experience was great. Rick Teagle, my salesman, wonderful, honest, friendly. You can't beat them. Things haven't changed. They're just all great people here. And this is exactly why I came to Fisher Motors. I knew Rick was here, and I wanted to buy a car from him. What more could I want? Rick's the man. Did you get that?
If protecting the things you value in life is causing you high anxiety, it's time you called Bremer Insurance. For 100 years, Bremer Insurance has offered the protection for home, life, auto, and business that has given the Minot area peace of mind.
Nothing sounds better than pizza and Pepsi. It's the Cola.
Welcome to First Western Bank and Trust, and its only locally owned bank.
And because we're right here, your banking decision is made here.
Faster and better.
And your money goes to work right here in our community.
And because we know you, we know your dreams. We know your needs.
And you know us.
We're First Western Bank and Trust, and together we're banking on Minot.
Well, thank you very much. Welcome back to the second annual Fisher Motors Shootout. Again, it's been a great day again. I think bigger and better than last year.
Yeah, we had 27 more bowlers this year from last year. Our goal was to get 160, and I think the weather really hurt us or we'd have been there.
All right, and Larry, thanks a lot for your expertise.
You're welcome, Scott.
And maybe someday I'll take a bowling lesson from you and not from your son.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we got to thank some people. I tell you what, we couldn't do this event without a lot of hard work from a lot of different people, the staff here at North Hill Bowl, the communication core people, all the sponsors. At this time, I want to introduce a couple very special people that are involved in this, and without their support, this would not go off. First of all, the proprietor of North Hill Bowl, Morris Anderson, and the sales manager from Fisher Motors, Steve Zahn. Would those two come out here and give them a great round of applause, because people, if it wasn't for people like this, this event would never take place. So Maury, you just got to be proud of this, of your bowling alley here and what you have accomplished. And this is just a great, great tournament.
This has turned out real good. This is our second season, and I'm really happy the way it's turned out, and all the sponsors that contributed have been happy about it, and we're willing this year to come back in stronger than ever, and that's what we need. And we need to sponsors to help make this thing go, and they've been real good with us all the way through the whole tournament.
Well, I know all the bowlers out here that participate in this event this year appreciate what you do here in Minot, and I know if they can come, God willing, they'll be back next year.
I hope so, and I know I've talked to a lot of them. They said they'll be back.
All right, thank you, Morris and Steve Zahn. Fisher's got involved in this. I know this has been something that's been ongoing. It's been talked about a lot of planning sessions. We did it last year, and it, really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, but we learned a lot. Boy, you got to be happy with how this one ended up this year.
Oh, we're just really pleased. It's been a great relationship for us with Morris and his team and Jeff Craig, and the bowlers are fantastic. And to bring in 140 quality bowlers and have them put on the show they did was just phenomenal. So we just couldn't be more happy.
And I know from Morris and Jeff and his people here, hey, they thank you because without you, this couldn't go on.
Well, and it's fun to be part of a team that works as hard as they do, so it makes it easy for us to get involved.
All right. Now we're going to present what the bowlers have been waiting for I guess, for a while here. We had a great match here, 4 great matches to crown our 2005 Fisher Motor Shootout champion. At this time, we want to say thank you to all of them who participated, and we want to call up our second place, our runner-up finisher for the year 2005, Richard Vitko of Ramsey, Minnesota. And Richard will receive a trophy as runner-up, and also I think he gets something else. Yeah, Steve Zahn's got a check to present to you, Richard.
Well, Richard, on behalf of Fisher Motors, North Hill Bowl, and all the fine sponsors, congratulations, and I hand you this check for $3,000.
Thank you, Jeff. It's been a great tournament. I think all the sponsors, the bowling lanes are putting on everything. The fans, y'all been great. All the bowlers, all my friends, the support, on-track pro shops for doing my equipment back at home. Just like to think it was great, and I'll be back next year for sure.
Richard, did you run out of gas in that title match?
Kind of ran out of gas, thumbs wide open, made some bad shots, but it's a great run. He's a great bowler. Congrats to him.
All right, well, $3,000, not a bad weekend, huh?
Nope, can't take it. Can't blame it. I'll go home. I don't know what to say anymore.
If you don't want to take it, I'll take it.
Now heading home.
All right, have a good trip. Thanks for coming. See you next year. And ladies and gentlemen, our 2005 Fisher Motor Shootout champion, Tom Clark of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And he will get a plaque here from Mr. Craig, and also, but he'll turn to his right, and Mr. Zahn has something to present you.
Well, Tom, on behalf of Fisher Motors and all of our employees and all of our great friends in Minot, we appreciate your coming, and congratulations, and I'd love to give you this check for $5,000. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Tom, I want to ask you a question, and I asked Larry and Jeff when our show started today. You came in as the #1 seed. You had to sit all day and watch the step ladder go up. You knew you were guaranteed $3,000. What was it like just sitting there and waiting?
It's been like this all day. I mean, I was lucky to even get in here today. I snuck in at the bottom of the last game, and so everything that happened today was just gravy. And I guess I'm fortunate enough to have enough years in that I can block things out, and I got in a rhythm, and it just went all day long.
How many times have you appeared on television before in bowling tournaments?
3 times.
Okay, so were you a little nervous to start with?
No, I was actually very relaxed. I was more nervous than anything in the 10th frame when I realized I'd won, and I could hardly throw the ball. So,
well, that happens to us all.
Yeah. But it's just been a great tournament. I just kind of echo the thoughts, and thank all the sponsors. It's prize funds like this that make me want to drive 600 miles to get here, but without the sponsors, these tournaments wouldn't exist, and all the people that put it on. Just thanks to everybody.
We just want to ask you one question. Will you be back to defend your title?
I think I can drive 600 miles again, yeah.
All right, for $5,000 you can.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, have a good trip back. Tom Clark, your 2005 Fisher Motors Shootout champion. Tell you what, it's been a lot of fun. Again, a great job by the communication corps people, all the people behind the scenes here at North Hill Bowl, all the sponsors, thank you very much. Again, this event could not go on unless we had the support of the entire community of Minot, and we thank each and every one of you. So that about does it. The 2005 Fisher Motor Shootout. Thanks, Jeff Craig, for your help and for all your words of encouragement.
Thank you for doing it.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Thank you, Steve Zahn. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Morris Anderson. And congratulations again, Tom.
Thank you very much.
All right. That's it. We'll see you again next year. Well, Jeff, second time you've tried to run this Fisher Shootout this year, and I know after the first year it was a learning process, and you learned a lot. Second year go a little bit more smooth.
It went really good on Saturday. We didn't have any problems other than we waited for a few bowlers that came a little late, but we did have a few mistakes on Sunday morning, and that's just a learning process, and we'll get it all taken care of.
Yeah, and I heard that you were the one that got blamed most for the mistakes on Sunday.
Well, that's because I did make the mistakes.
I tell you what, these bowlers really have a lot of fun. I mean, it's a lot of, it's a lot of competition, and they really get into it, but really focus. But there's a lot of camaraderie especially during the Saturday bowling.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys from South Dakota and Minneapolis, the area, that came this year that said they're bowling against people they haven't bowled against in 10, 15 years. There's all the guys checking out their bracket winnings.
Well, for the first time, you had a female that made the qualifying for Sunday and moved into Sunday, Mindy Meyer. Talk a little bit about her play.
Yeah, we had 2 women bowl this year. Mindy Meyer, her parents own the bowling center in Alexandria, Minnesota. She made the cut, and then the other woman that bowled this year was from Bismarck, Missy Miller.
All right. Who is that?
That's my 2-year-old, Jamie.
All right, Jamie was out there helping you out, keeping Dad in line. Anyway.
He's giving me encouragement after my mistake Sunday morning.
Who's that guy?
That's the local class clown. That's Chris Hempstead. There's my brother. He's trying to be a clown.
A lot of clowns involved in this.
There's Chris actually doing something. We'll have to keep that one for the archives. There's Brooke Selk. That's Ryan's wife.
A lot of fun and a lot of hard work. But I tell you what, you take a lot of memories away from something like this.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Minot bowlers, again this year, we did not have one qualify for the finals. Ryan Selk very close to qualifying, but a good showing by the Minot bowlers.
This is his 298 game here we're showing. He had the highest game of the tournament with a 298. There he was thanking the bowling gods for that strike.
Right. But Ryan with a great 2 days and just fell short. Had a couple other Minot bowlers that did quite well also.
Yeah, Steve Nush was really close to making the cut. And I don't remember who the other ones
How
were.
many Minot bowlers did we have this year?
I think there was 26 bowlers for Minot out of the 140 that bowled. There was a shot of you.
That was a shot of me, and now this is a shot of the football game that we don't want to remember.
At least you don't want to remember.
Yeah, it's true. Chris did a lot of work. We give him a lot of, give him a bad time, but he's the guy that ran the computer for you and put the scores in.
He punches in all the scores and makes sure all the scores are added up and correct for the tournament.
I just figured we better say something nice about Chris.
There he is. I think he's trying to get bribes to put in scores. That's the way it looks. There's my brother Stuart. He's the one that did bringing all the scores from the front to the back for Chris to put into the computer.
The thing about it is, Jeff, a lot of people don't realize how much work behind the scenes it takes to pull something like this off. Jeff, we talk about the bowlers that qualify for the TV show, and we really don't talk about the crowd. We had a great crowd that assembled for this year's finals.
We had a great crowd on Saturday night during the qualifying. It was hard to even move around in the concourse area. There were so many people here, and this year for the top 5 for the TV show, we had the bleachers full. We brought in twice as much seating as we did last year, and I don't think we had enough. It's amazing the amount some of the equipment these guys brought. I talked to one guy who brought 18 bowling balls here this weekend. He had 3 6-ball bags. Can you imagine carrying them around all weekend long?
No, I couldn't carry them around. I can hardly carry the one I have.
And he didn't cash, so I don't think he brought enough.
He didn't bring enough, so next year he'll bring 24 of them. Well, Jeff, the second annual Fisher Shootout is in the books. Your plans for the third annual?
Well, it was a great time this year, and next year we're going to try and expand it to 160 bowlers instead of 140 bowlers, and maybe I won't make any mistakes next year.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Jeff. Again, thanks a lot for all the hard work that you and your people put in for the Fisher Shootout. And I tell you what, on behalf of everybody, thank you for watching tonight, and we'll see you next year.
The staff at the Communication Corps hopes you enjoyed tonight's presentation of the Fisher Motor Shootout. If you're looking to take your business to the next level, or you require branding, visibility, special events planning, public relations, and media productions, then consider Comcor. Comcor has produced media events and consulted for a wide variety of clients, not only in North Dakota but across the nation, including work for Gander Mountain Outdoors, the History Channel, the Outdoor Network, Fox Sports Net, and the National Lewis and Clark Bicentennial, and many more. At Comcor, our motto is bridging the gap between your vision and success. No one knows your business better than you, and that's why we pride ourselves in being the creative team that will help see your projects to fruition. Thank you again for joining us this year for the Fisher Motors Shootout. Now, please enjoy a segment from one of our most recent projects, a Lewis and Clark documentary, Rediscover the Core, with Clay Jenkinson.